How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Flip Mastery video. Sorry, wow, Flip Mastery, Investing Mastery. Geez, wow, it's late. So, Investing Mastery, guys. So keep in mind if you're watching this video that it is currently March 22nd, 2017. If you were watching this video, this video is going to go on the master list for Investing Mastery. And if you are watching this video at a time that is far past March 22nd, which is highly possible, I would just encourage you to just think about how relevant the information will be. Do a little bit of price testing, based on go read graphs, do a little bit of price testing, and just kind of base that upon how valid the information in this video is. The information in this video is going to be valid for a good couple weeks, a good 2 or 3 weeks. You don't have to worry about that. But if you're watching this video past that point, then just keep in mind this is an older video. All right, guys, so right now, it's not an older video because now is the present and that is the future. So with this right here, we're going to be talking about a lot of things going on, so I'm going to jump right into it. The first thing is that prices have been really strange, very, very strange. If you look at the graphs for a lot of the double XP stuff that like uncut dragonstones, cut dragonstones, dragonstone bracelets, magic shield bows, and many other things that we've been investing in over the last couple weeks here, or the last month, really, is that they really haven't recovered as fast as what would be expected. For example, uncut dragonstones are right now at 11.2, and they were just recently buyable at 10.5 and 10.3. I did scoop up for some for that price, and honestly, for me personally, I have well over. I think I'm sitting at 630 or 640, right around there, 1,000 uncut dragonstones. So I still have lots of faith in them. I know there are a lot of people that when I released the Investing Mastery video before, they bought into them, and we bought in closer to 12,000. I would let you know that I'm really not worried about them at all. They're just really being a little bit different than what they normally do, which honestly is not really that big of a deal because there are many factors I will go over in this video that will show you that they are really not something to be worried about as far as investing. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover that right now because that's kind of relevant to our previous invests. So as we look at dragonstones themselves, cut dragonstones, we see 8806. These frequently have been bumping between 8.6K and 9K, just below 9K. And honestly, overall, they're in an upward trend. So they've been slowly increasing in price. Every couple days they have like a slight dip, but they are overall increasing in price. If you look at the price difference between these cut dragonstones and the uncut dragonstones, so the uncut dragonstones GE value right now is almost 11.2, and the GE value for cut dragonstones is 8.8. And these honestly, if I was to slow sell these in the GE right now, they'd go for 9,000, and if I was to slow buy these uncuts, I could buy them for about 11,000. So it's only a 2,000 difference right there. If you are to actually craft uncut dragonstones into cut dragonstones, it is extremely fast EXP per hour, and a lot of people value that EXP per hour. Uncut dragonstone cutting is extremely popular as a high-level method of training your crafting. So whenever there is an affordable price as far as like the crafting goes, like if it's like a reasonable price, then people will buy up the uncuts just because they want to be able to cut them because it's not a crazy value. There are plenty of times when the uncuts will be 13 or 14,000, while the cuts are like 9.5 thousand. As you can see with that, there's a significantly large gap in between the two than there is right now. So we can kind of expect that that gap is going to have to do something. And in all honesty, what I personally think is going to happen is history is going to repeat itself, and the dragonstones cuts will rise a bit more, and then the uncuts will skyrocket back up to where they should be. You can still sell uncut dragonstones for the price that we originally bought them. You can still sell them for like 12,000 on the forums. So if anybody is holding uncut dragonstones and is like, you know what, I'm really not feeling them anymore, then you can always just sell your stock of them on the forums, and you will get how much you paid for them. Sadly, they just didn't recover quite as fast as they always have in the previous. I've actually been talking to a lot of people who invest in the game, and pretty much everybody is just as confused as I am. as to why it's taken them so long to recover. But like I said, we do all expect them to recover in price. So I am definitely holding on to mine, and I'm also buying up as many as possible. I mean, if you really want to think about it, because of the fact that history does show these will skyrocket, and pretty much everybody is anticipating on them skyrocketing, the reason why I am still buying up as many as I possibly can is because think about it. Think of it this way as a longer buy period. Previously, when Double Experience ended, uncut Dragonstones would skyrocket back to their normal price of right around 12 or 13 or maybe 14,000, way before now. And then you weren't really able to buy a lot of uncuts for a good price to make a big profit on. It was a very short window where you could do that. Well, now it's kind of like we have this gigantic window of being able to buy them before they recover to the price. I mean, them recovering to the price is pretty close to guaranteed. I mean, I would be I would be so amazed if they did not recover to the price. Like, I would just be blown away. Because especially by the time the next Double Experience runs around, I mean, I would definitely expect them to recover way before that. But even if you have to wait all the way until the next Double Experience, frequently when that comes around, they're anywhere from 14 to 15,000 each on the forums. If you look at the current price of, like I said, right around 11, then that's like a 3,000 or 4,000 profit each. That means that for every, if you look at Dragonstone, so we got like, say you're buying for 11,000 right now. And say you bought 10,000 of them, or no, 100,000 of them, 100,000, which would take a lot of money, I realize. That would be 1.1 billion. And then if you were to save those and sell them during Double Experience Weekend, the 100,000 Dragonstones, let's say they actually went to 15,000, which it is definitely possible. If you have a large supply like 100,000, you can definitely negotiate higher prices. That would be 1.5 billion. So you'd make a 400 million flip on that many Dragonstones. If you're buying 10,000 of them, that's still a 40 million flip. So it's a pretty significant amount of money that you can make on these items. So I definitely still consider them a very viable option for investments. It's just honestly, it's not a failed investment. What it's turning into is just a long-term investment. And kind of like I said before in the previous videos, or with investing mastery in general, is that sometimes, there are very long investments. Dragonstones are usually not that long of an investment, but this time they've just kind of turned into that. So, you know what, that's whatever. We'll just accept it like it is. And then for the people who are going to hold on to their investments on these, what I would encourage you to do is just continue to build your investment. It's kind of like literally like your retirement fund or something like that. I mean, you consider however you want to. As you make more money, you can always just buy some more stones, throw them in your stone pile, and then eventually sell them out whenever they recover. So anyway, next item, guys. Oh, also, Dragonstone bracelets kind of fall in the exact same category here. They're at 97.81. They've been holding that value for a few days now. Actually, for probably like the last week, they've been right around that same value. These, let's not forget that these actually do high alch. If we look at the high alch price right here, the high alch price is 11,475. So with the high alch price being that high, I mean, eventually they will rise back to 10.4, 10.5. I mean, previously I've sold Dragonstone bracelets in the Grand Exchange for 10.7 as a very slow sale. But as you can see, we still have quite a bit of room for them to improve. And to be totally honest with you, what is going to make them improve is they're directly linked to Dragonstones and uncut Dragonstones. So we can expect Dragonstone bracelets to kind of follow the exact same trend as these other two. They might recover a little bit quicker than the other two just because of the fact that there is more demand. There's less Dragonstone bracelets in the game than there is Dragonstones. So it really depends on how many people are alching them. They could recover a little bit quicker, which in turn would also drag up the price of uncut Dragonstones and cut Dragonstones. So what it really comes down to, guys, is that there's a lot of factors that can definitely improve the value of Dragonstones, and so we're just really waiting on one of those factors to happen. So we'll just have to see. Okay, guys. So the next thing here is going to be mahogany planks. So mahogany planks right now on the GE are 2134. I have actually been able to buy these mahogany planks fairly easily at 2080 or at 2100. Both prices are great prices. I mean, honestly, even buying them at mid price is a great price too. I would personally expect these to rise another 60 to 70 GP within the next month or so. They are just like the Dragonstones. They're just rising a bit slower. They did recover a little bit more than the Dragonstones did because the post double experience buy price for these typically at like a really good buy price is going to be like 1850 to 1950. So we are way above that point. So we know that there is it's like some healthy recovery going on in the mahogany planks, which kind of tells us there's a lot of promise in there. So if you're looking to buy up and stock a whole bunch of mahogany planks, or honestly, if you're just looking to buy up and stock a whole bunch of something that you can expect to rise in the very near future, I would actually consider the mahogany planks and the Magic Shield Bow U to be in that category. Because both of them have been very solid right now and have been doing a very good job of continually rising. Magic Shield Bow U, honestly, is probably probably one of my most exciting items right now for investments. The reason why is, if you guys remember when the last video I was saying that I was buying these for like 520 or something like that, and as you can see, the mid price on them right now is 614. The mid price in these yesterday was 605, and then a couple days before that was like below 600. So as you can see, these are on a strong upward curve, and in all honesty, I instantly bought one of these earlier to see what it instantly bought for, and it bought for 625 yesterday, and it bought for 635 today. So they are definitely on the hardcore rise. I have a very large stock of these Magic Shield Bows. I currently have over 2 million of these Magic Shield Bows. That's just how excited I am about them. Also, you can buy 10,000 of these for every 4 hours, so it's very easy to stock up these pretty hardcore. And so if you really consider that, so we're looking at like 614 each. If we buy 10,000 of them, and let's say that they rise another 20 GP, then that is 200,000 gold that you will make in that 4-hour purchase. If you have 2 accounts buying them, that means essentially every 4 hours you're making 400,000 gold for every 20 that they rise. I definitely see Magic Shield Bows rising to a solid 700 sometime in the near future. And also by looking at the graphs and looking at the history of this item, you can see that it has frequently been above 700. So 700 is honestly just like a lower safe number, just because of the fact that if we're kind of like taking into account the Dragonstone bracelets and also the mahogany planks, about how having like a little bit of a lower recovery, a little bit lower pricing, kind of like our Dragonhide items have been like a very lower, like they haven't quite hit what they should have hit. It's kind of frustrating. They're like, if you look at, for example, black Dragonhide shields, that was definitely one of our investment items a while back. They have kind of settled at about 200 GP lower than what they normally would sell for by this point in time. And kind of like I'm saying with the Dragonstones, there's quite a few items that are just like in that exact same category of, they're just landing at they're settling down at a price that's below what we're kind of expecting them to be at. That's not a bad thing, because if you bought them for a good price, you're still making a good profit on those. We might just need to short sell them, that's kind of probably what I would tell you guys to do for your Dragonhide items. So if you have like the Dragonhide shields, Dragonhide bodies, stuff like that from our previous investment, I would probably, in my own personal suggestion, would probably be to try to find a price that they sell for that's like as high as you can get them to, but then just go ahead and dump your inventory. Right now is kind of a good time to dump that inventory. And so, yeah, so the reason why is because those items are expensive. What you can do is, instead of waiting for another 100 GP or 200 GP increase, which could honestly take months, because we're not guaranteed for them to go back to the original price, and they've really hardcore settled at where they've been. I've personally, I have 1 billion gold worth of Royal Dragonhide bodies, and I'm selling them out now, as you can see. Right here, you can see right there, sold 44,000 out of 44,176 out of 73,716 Royal Dragonhide bodies. I'm selling them on both accounts right now because I have some on both accounts. But as you can see, I am selling them, and they're selling very slow. These I actually put them in yesterday, so they're still not completely sold. And that's kind of the speed you want to be at. You want to be at like a slower sale that's going to be a good return on investment, because you waited for a long time. So don't accept like the fast sale. Try to push for as much as you possibly can. But I would probably encourage you guys to go ahead and drop your Dragonhide items. Also, so I guess I already discussed enough in the Magic Shield Bow, but we can definitely expect these Magic Shield Bows to rise a considerable amount more. Also, the price of the Magic Shield Bows finished has already hit a good sell point, and I already sold off mine. And the exciting thing about that, honestly, is the fact that the Magic Shield Bow U plus the bowstrings is actually a high profit to make them into the finished shields. So what you could do with these is as you buy them up, you can also just craft them into your own magic shield bows, and then you can make a massive amount of profit and quite a bit of EXP. These are actually 350,000 per hour EXP, and then and as you can probably tell, a lot of profit per hour. Which makes them, honestly, like I said, they're just one of my favorite investments right now because there's many uses to them besides the fact that they have a very promising upward curve. You can also just train with them and then be able to sell them a lot earlier than what you would be able to sell them before. I mean, you literally don't even have to wait. You could buy them now, craft them into the finished shield bows, and then sell them right away and just make a bunch of money. A great thing to do on an alt, by the way. Hey, whoever said I never gave you guys any money-making methods through Investing Mastery? All right, guys, so the next thing I want to talk about here is going to be your pouches. So now I'm not really talking about the Deacon pouch here yet, but what I'm talking about is our previous pouch purchases. All of your pouches should honestly be gone by this point. Any pouches that you bought during Double Experience Weekend, you should have sold by now. If you have not sold them, don't panic. Don't panic. They're not like below the price or anything. They're definitely at a good solid price. But there's just not really any reason to hold on to pretty much any of the pouches at this point. The only pouch that would make any sense for you to hold on to a little bit longer might be the Steel Titans. And the reason why I say that is because Steel Titans commonly go up with Slayer related stuff, and 120 Slayer is about to be announced. And when 120 Slayer is announced, what's going to happen is people are going to buy up all the supplies. So Steel Titans will rise with that. So you could use that as an investing opportunity now to buy them at a good, safe price. What I say about good, safe price is like look on the graphs, be like, okay, it hasn't been below X price, and I'm able to buy it for X price. Then that's a good, safe price. And also, kind of like I was showing in the Flip for Wealth series on YouTube, and I do definitely encourage you guys to watch that, even if you're really more into investing. Like, obviously you have an Investing Mastery Pass, but I really recommend that you watch the Flip for Wealth series. It is good. I am actually going to get into more advanced things on there, and you can apply that to everything you have on Patreon in order to make more money. But what I'm talking about there is we're talking about like what price you can sell to shops. If you have the Amlod thing unlocked, you've already assisted the Amlod for Prif. You're able to sell your pouches and your scrolls to the Amlod guy, the Amlod summoning guy, for a higher amount than you can sell to the Uglog guy. And the wiki actually will show you how much you can sell each pouch for. So if you're able to buy Steel Titans or maybe some other combat-related things at the price that you can sell them back to the shop at, then it's a zero-risk investment, if you get what I'm saying. So if it's a zero-risk investment, then when the Steel Titans do rise, you'll make money. And if they don't rise, because it's always possible that they won't, then you have a zero-risk investment. So a great way to do a zero-risk investment right there. All right, guys, so the next thing I'm going to talk about here is going to be actually something that's not on here. It's actually going to be bonds. So bonds right now are about 11.8 million. They're kind of bouncing anywhere between 11 million and 12 million. And I have definitely bought them at 11 million flat lately, and it's been great. So what I would recommend, honestly, is right now there is a pretty great opportunity to make a lot of money by buying up bonds and then holding on to them. And this is really aimed at people who have a large amount of money, because you can buy 150 bonds every 4 hours. So it's not really going to take you more than like 4 hours to stock as many as you can possibly get, because you're going to be spending over like 1.6 billion or so is how much it's going to cost you to buy 150 bonds. So I mean, in all honesty, it's not really something you have to like slowly stock up. Although I would definitely recommend if you're gonna invest in bonds, that I would definitely recommend to find a price that they buy very, 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 very slowly at. And for bonds have an immense, and I am talking a massive margin normally. Like they honestly usually have like a 2 mil margin, and the reason why is because you have to pay. Like, okay, so if just in case anybody who has never bought a bond from the GE before, when you buy a bond from the GE before, it becomes untradeable, and you actually have to pay 10% of its value in order to make it tradable again. So because of this, people do not actively trade bonds back and forth in the GE very often, because of the fact that they have to essentially risk money by making them tradable again in order to flip them. So what that creates is it creates a mega margin on them, where you can buy them for incredible amounts lower than what you think you'd be able to buy them for. I mean, literally, when bonds were like 13 or 14 million, I was able to snipe a couple bonds at 11 million each. So that's pretty impressive. So if you were thinking about buying out bonds or just buying out bonds because you think they might go up, which there is a gigantic chance they might go up, because if you really think about it, bonds are going to be around for a long, long, long time, hopefully. And there's probably chances are going to be something that'll cause bonds to rise. So when they do, then you'll be all ready for the spring. So, but the only thing is though is keep in mind, guys, whatever you pay for the bond, you're going to have to pay 10% of the GE mid value in order to make it tradable again. So it's kind of a complicated investment. I personally have never done a bond trade. I'll just be totally honest, or a bond investment. And I'll be totally honest with you guys about that one. I have never done a bond investment where I bought up bonds and then sold them later. I've talked to people who have, and they really enjoyed it, because there's people that bought bonds at 10 million and then sold them at 20 million. I mean, yeah, that'd be friggin' awesome, but it's just high risk because of the fact you got to pay to make them tradable. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there, though, that the bonds are at a low value. So if they do jump back to 20 million again, then I can be like, hey, I told you so. But kind of like figure that out on your own. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, guys, I want to try to move on here because there's a lot of stuff I want to cover. But I'm sure that you guys are happy there's a lot of stuff I'm going to cover, honestly, because it's been a little bit since our last Investment Mastery video. I do plan on making Investment Mastery videos much more often now. So I do apologize for this one being, having taken a little while, but we've been working on so many other things on Patreon that, I just haven't gotten one out there. So anyway, next thing here is going to be scrolls. So what I want to talk about these scrolls is these scrolls are pretty cool. If you are just like, I have no idea what to put my money into, then scrolls and random ass summoning pouches, excuse my language, random summoning pouches are going to be great for you. The reason why is because, okay, let's look at this Demon Deacon pouch, for example, 67.80. I very recently bought a bunch of these pouches for 2,000 each. Yep, that's right, 2,000 each. And the reason why I bought them for 2,000 each is because nobody ever buys these. They're a very, very, very rare pouch. There is honestly very, very little volume of these in the Grand Exchange. And if you guys watched my recent Flip to Wealth video, then you saw me mention Crushing Claw Scrolls. Do exactly what I said in that video. In that video, I was like, I can buy these for $230 or $250 during the day, and then sell them for almost $400 at night. Exact same thing goes with other things too, like Demon Deacon pouches. I can buy them for $2,000 during what I'll do is for Demon Deacons, I will actually put an offer in the GE and then leave it for like 2 weeks, and then I'll come back to like a filled up offer where I bought like 50,000 pouches or something like that. In 2 weeks, I mean, probably more than that, but in like a week, I buy like 50,000 pouches or something like that. I mean, it's totally random because the volume on them is so low, you can never guarantee how many you're actually going to get. So the Demon Deacon pouch, what I'll do is I'll pay 2,000 each, and then I will sell them for like 10,000 each. So as you can see, I make like 8,000 on each one, and that ends up being about 400 million profit. If I was actually, if I actually bought 50,000 of them in that time, it'd be 400 million profit. So as you can see, they can be extremely profitable. And I did not want to mention Deacon Demon. Geez, I can't even say it. I did not want to mention Deacon Demon pouches on the YouTube because I knew they'd be ruined. So this is a really good one too. I mean, the Crushing Claw Scroll is pretty much going to be ruined because of the YouTube. You guys could also, you could honestly still jump in there and pick up some Crushing Claws, and then you might be able to find like new margins for them besides 250 to 400. You can maybe do like 250 to 300 or something like that, because people that watch that YouTuber, I'm guaranteeing you they're going to go on there and try to buy the Crushing Claw Scrolls. So if they're like, well, I can buy them for 300 and then try to sell them for 400, then look, they're buying them all from you. Haha, see what I'm talking about there? So anyway, these guys work about the same. You can do the same thing at Acorn Missile Scrolls, same thing at Ring of Fire. The Deacon Demon pouches actually make the Ring of Fire scroll. And I'll be totally honest with you guys. I thought about making this as a money-making method, but I'm not. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys about it in here. When you buy a bunch of like X pouch, maybe it's Deacon Demon pouch like this one. If you go to the obelisk and you make these into into scrolls, you'll get 12 scrolls during Amalot Hour. These Ring of Fire scrolls often sell for like 900 or 1,000 each or even more. So if you pay 2,000 each on these Deacon Demon pouches, then you turn them into Ring of Fire scrolls, that could be 2,000 into 12,000. So you can kind of see where that is pretty dang amazing. You essentially make 10,000 GP per slot, and you have 28 slots. And then you could also use a Pack Mammoth, which is holding 30 slots. So essentially, let me do some quick math right here, how much that would be per hour if you actually had enough of them to do a full hour, because you guys got to keep in mind that they have extremely low volume, so realistically, it's going to be kind of hard to stock up enough to go do this with. But you could do it as a long-term moneymaker. So 2,000. So you're making 10,000 on each pouch, and you've got 58 slots if you count the Pack Mammoth plus your regular inventory. So that means you're making 580,000 gold every time you run back and forth to the obelisk, which is essentially 1,160,000 for every hour. And then if you do it 60 times in an hour, you're looking at 69,600,000 per hour. So there you go, guys. There's a 70 million an hour method right there. Because if you can do it any faster than what I just said, then you can make more money. But anyway, 70 million per hour is essentially how much you can make by turning Deacon Demon pouches into Ring of Fire Scroll. But I'm gonna give you guys this massive trick right here. Are you guys ready for this stuff? You guys ready for the trick? And you guys can take this money making method I'm showing you guys in this one as kind of like a slight apology for the fact that there hasn't been as much investing mastery content as I was hoping for. So I'm, like I said, I'm gonna have more investing mastery content coming up. It's gonna be way more frequent than what it was before. But anyway, I hope this makes up for it. So you can totally take these Demon Deacons, turn them into that, essentially 70 million per hour. But there are a billion other well, not a billion, but there's a lot of other pouches that you can do the exact same thing with. Because if you think about it, those scrolls are extremely rare. Some scrolls are ridiculously rare. Like if you look into the summoning stuff, like look into familiars, then we scroll down here. Okay, here we go. Void Shifters. Do you even know what the scroll for this is called? Like, do you guys even know what the scroll for a Void Shifter is? I don't. And I bet you that nobody ever sells them in the Grand Exchange, which means that they probably slow sell for an incredibly high number. So what you could do is you could buy shifter pouches and then go make scrolls, and there you go, money made. So that is a great way to make an absurd amount of money in a long-term time. What I recommend to do with these right here, guys, if this is like you want some takeaway information, what I recommend doing with these right here to make this like worth your time and also make it have to do with investing, is that I really recommend that you have an alt or something where you can just buy up these pouches long term. If you buy up these pouches really long term, and then you like log back into that account and you're like, hey, look, I bought this many pouches. I mean, imagine the profit is if you found 8 different pouches that when you turn them into scrolls, you could slow sell them for a lot of money, and you log back into like maybe 100,000 of each one of those pouches has bought, and that's 800,000 pouches. Let me just do a quick little math blurb for you. 800,000 pouches, and that's so many pouches, wow. And then we turn those into scrolls. That's 9.6 million scrolls. And if you're assuming, with our Deacon Demon pouch, we're looking at 10,000 profit per pouch. So if they're all like Demon Deacon, which is not too likely, so this is a total hypothetical number right here, guys. But if they were all like Deacon Demon, which, by the way, there's more than one demon. You should probably know that. There's like a green demon, a red demon, and a blue demon, so you can buy all of them, and they all turn into Ring of Fire Scrolls. Mad gains. Yeah, that's a little hint there for you guys. If you were to take those as an example, then 800,000 pouches and you're making 10,000 each, that'd be 8 billion gold profit that you'd make. And that's not an exaggeration. But it is kind of hypothetical because you'd have to buy 800,000 Demon Deacon pouches. Or pouches that are just like that. But anyway, guys, there you go. There's your immense money maker. Yeah, for sure. But I will see you guys in the next Investing Mastery video. Thank you for watching this incredibly long video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Please send me a comment, or not a comment, but send me a message on Patreon if you have any questions regarding investing. Also, more news on investing coming up soon. I don't really know why I'm saying this in this video, because pretty soon, like in a couple weeks, this video will be irrelevant. But I'm going to be adding a thing where On Discord, you guys can do a screenshot of your investments, and I can help to kind of guide you with your investments. Like let you know what to do next or what I would do. Maybe there's some stuff I would sell right now. Maybe there's some stuff I would be like, buy more of that or whatever. Then I can help you guys out to help you guide with your investments and just make it more successful, because I want you guys to succeed. I am dead serious. Like, all that stuff I say on my YouTube video, where I'm, on my YouTube channel, where I'm like, oh, I'm trying to improve the community, and I want the people who don't have access to billions to get billions. I'm not bullshitting. Like, it's true. I'm dead serious. I want to see people succeed with the Patreon. You guys are donating. You guys are donating your money and making the channel possible. I want to give back as much as possible. So, all right, guys, let me know how this this pouch to scroll thing goes. Shoot me some PMs in game. Send me a message on Patreon. Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video.